Hi, my name is Julie Asada, and I am a new farmer outside of Bastrop. We're just recently certified organic. I have 20 acres. We have 150 broiler chicks in their big pasture house, beginning to move across pasture. We have about 225 laying hens, and we have 2 cows, 2 steer calf, and our 2 cows had 2 heifers. So we have a brand new growing herd of cattle, not large. My understanding about the USDA purpose for NAIS is to protect human health. And there's been lots of discussions about whether it's animal health or disease control or health of the end food supply. But I'm guessing that's the broader goal. And my first challenge is that I think that there needs to be, if we're really going to look at health long-term, we need to broaden the goals. Human health, health of the planet, because if we continue with non-sustainable food production strategies, we already are, as a people, getting less healthy, and that's going to be increasingly the truth. And also, even though this may not actually have anything to do with human health, I have got to put in a word for the beings that we consume who don't have a voice and who also deserve decent treatment. We should have, as part of our larger goals, the humane treatment of animals that we eat. It does seem that the systems to produce these animals that are inhumane are also not very good for our health. Perhaps that's karma. Perhaps it's just what happens when you put thousands of animals into a small space and keep them alive long enough via hormones so that they grow quickly and antibiotics so they don't get too sick by the way that they've been raised. So we do know really that NAIS, as it's been laid out, benefits corporate agriculture and works against small farms. That's really just so. You can tweak the facts of it, but the bottom line is if you get to label 10,000 chickens in a barn that you never look at, personally, with one number, but I take my 150 chickens and I'm supposed to catch them, although I could because I actually have a good enough relationship with them that I could pick them up, and I do. But I would have to do that individually, then it's not going to benefit me and I'm not going to be able to continue. Period. So if the goal is health, how does factory farming then support these goals? Because NAIS supports factory farming and corporate agriculture. So does it? We know that hormones are showing up and causing prepubescence earlier and earlier in young girls, and sterility in young men. So that's not very helpful. Is that me? Okay. That's too bad. Then I'm going to give you a little story. If we're looking at health, this morning I was late because one of my chickens, when I went to the hen house to let them out, was laying on the floor. And she wasn't dead, but something was wrong. If I were a corporate business, I would have been one of the 500 picked up that day and chalked out. No one would have looked at that chicken. No one would know what's wrong with her. No one would know whether or not it was contagious. No one would not know whether or not it would end up in the egg or the food supply related to that chicken. I picked her up. I looked her over. I put her in hospital. She's now segregated. I gave her a little vitamin E and a little molasses to get her a good tonic. I looked at her legs because we moved the pasture pen yesterday, and it might be that I nicked her with the pen, although I'm pretty good about looking at where I move it. But the fact is, I do know where that chicken is, and that chicken is no longer producing food for anybody else. And she's not just in, some front loader. And she's actually probably almost certainly going to end up back in with her flock tomorrow because she's got food and water and no competition. So she can get well. Please reconsider. It takes a lot of courage to fight powerful business, and corporate agriculture is extremely powerful. I brought a lot of hope to the effort in this last November's election, and I still hold a lot of hope, and a lot of hope that this government and this administration has the courage, the big, big courage that it takes to counter the direction that we've been pushed in through corporate agriculture and all of the kind of businesses that lie behind it, and that we make the kinds of changes that we need for a sustainable food source, a truly healthy food source, and one that supports local, small, sustainable farms. Thanks.